What's up? What's up? Got a quick question for you, and that is, do you either feel like, number one, your business is stagnant and it's not really growing, or two, like your business is growing, but you find that you're either attracting or working with a lot of people who just are not like your ideal person that you want to work with? If that's you, you're definitely going to want to stick around, because today I'm going to be sharing 4 questions that you really need to ask yourself in order to grow like a thriving online business that you actually love. I've been diving into Russell Brunson's .com Secrets book. I highly recommend grabbing Russell's book called .com Secrets. I am like halfway into this book, and I'm telling you, it's one of the most like impactful books I've ever read. This little 2-part series is actually from his book, but it's something that I've talked about a few times, but just not in this particular order, and I really love how he laid it out. So the very first question that you have to ask yourself if you really want to grow a thriving business online is, who do you actually want to work with? You know, one thing that Russell Brunson pointed out in this book, .com Secrets, he made such a great point. He said, you know, you choose your significant other carefully, so why wouldn't you take the time and care in deciding who your dream client or customer will be? Have you done this? Yes or no? It took me years to do this, and this is a big reason why I was creating a business that I did not like, okay? And I was working with people that I did not want to work with. And I find that a lot of people who are growing businesses make this exact same mistake. They don't sit down and really think about who their ideal customer is. Like, who do they actually want to work with? And therefore, they just start taking on anybody. They think, well, hey, you know, I need the money, so anybody who wants to work with me, you're just like grabbing. Just anybody who will work with you, just like you're gobbling them up. And what happens when you do this is the exact reason why you are working with people who are sucking your time, sucking your energy. It can make all the difference between you actually building a business you love versus building a business that might be generating profit and might be generating income, but you really want to just fire yourself, okay? Because you just don't like what you've built. I'm also going to give you an example of Russell Brunson. When he had successfully launched his first software company, like it was making a lot of money, but he was not happy, okay? And so this is something that he wrote in the book. He said, you know, there were a lot of people who wanted to start businesses, and we made a lot of money teaching them. But the downside was that most of them didn't have any money, and most had no business experience. And so I ended up having to spend tons of times on fundamentals, and that drove me crazy. I had so much value I wanted to provide people, showing them how I scaled my businesses, teaching conversion secrets and how we structure our funnels. But 99% of my time was spent showing them how to buy a domain and set up hosting. So again, you know, he had built an extremely successful business, but he wasn't doing what he loved. His business was extremely profitable, but he realized, you know, 99% of the time was spent working with people who he did not want to work with, doing things and working on the fundamentals which he did not want to work on. Now, the second question that you really want to ask yourself when it comes to creating a thriving business online is, where can you find those people? You're not going to be able to identify where these ideal prospects are until you identify and you sit down and you map out who they are. Okay, so once you get clear on who your ideal customer is, then it's going to be a little bit easier to start identifying where they're actually hanging out. So you need to ask yourself, okay, where are they hanging out? Is my ideal customer hanging out on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? Do they use Snapchat? What magazines are they reading? Like, what are they interested in? What are their hobbies? Like, take for instance, they might be a stay-at-home mom. Like for me, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Therefore, I want to attract people who are like me. So if I know that my ideal customer is a stay-at-home mom with a child, then maybe it's going to be a little bit easier for me to start looking and saying, hey, okay, well, where are the stay-at-home moms hanging out at? They could be in different Facebook groups. What about if you know that your ideal customer is like a huge animal advocate? Like they love animals, they love rescues. Well, wouldn't it make sense then to go start searching in Facebook groups that maybe deal with animal rescue? Or maybe you're big into rodeo. You know what I mean? Go find some rodeo pages. Is your ideal customer like really big into health? Go find some Facebook pages. Go find some Facebook groups that have to deal with like where they might be hanging out. Those are just some tips for you, because if you don't really know who your ideal person is, it's going to be dang hard to pinpoint where they're at. That's why this exercise is so very important. Now, I will tell you, I mapped out actually a free resource. It's called The Ultimate Guide to Magnetically Attract Your Perfect Prospect. And so if you want to grab that, I do actually talk about how to identify your target market in there, and I've got little spaces where you can brainstorm, but you can grab that. It's at sherrybrowncoaching.com/guide. So be sure to grab that guide, and I really kind of walk you through a lot of questions on figuring out and deciding who that target market is. Also in my guide, when you do grab it, we also go over branding, you know what I mean? And we talk about what you want to be known for, because you really have to kind of know that before you dive into who you want to attract, right? And so those are a couple of free resources for you. With that being said, hope you got some value from today. If so, feel free to share it out. So hope you have an amazing day, and until next time, bye.